My name is Danny Galicia, and I'll be presenting my presentation on the multistate outbreak of Salmonella infections linked to pistachio nuts. Step 1, background information. Salmonella is a type of bacteria. Illness from Salmonella is called salmonellosis, and symptoms include diarrhea, fever, chills, and abdominal pain. In 2016, a major outbreak linked to wonderful pistachios on a farm located in Lost Hills, California, confirmed 11 people infected. The major strains found were Salmonella montevideo and Salmonella Senfenberg. Step 2, the current situation. The FDA, CDC, and state and local health agencies launched investigations to determine the causes of Salmonella infections. Wonderful Pistachios complied and recalled all of the affected products. CDC provided the PulseNet system, in which it is a DNA fingerprinting system to determine the specific strains isolated from the ill patients to determine the strains from Salmonella bacteria causing the illnesses. A strength was that it was a rapid and quick response from the CDC and FDA and other local health agencies' part, as well as wonderful pistachios. But a weakness is that the PulseNet system's lack of quality exposure information provided, in that it doesn't paint the whole picture of who's been affected and by what specifically, just from the 11 confirmed patients. An opportunity is that the company is able to use this event and the lessons learned to prevent future outbreaks, and a threat is that the products were sold to other nations such as Canada and Peru, who might have a slower response to handling this outbreak. Step 3 is to prioritize core issues. The total number of confirmed Salmonella infection cases were 11, but the actual total number of people affected is still unknown. The root causes could have been contamination during the farming process or contamination during the production process, in which the roasting methods to rid pistachios contaminants were unsuccessful, or the transportation process during the handling and packaging from sick employees and contaminated packages. We must prioritize establishing stringent safety protocols and standards, educating consumers to properly handle pistachios, and providing the public with easily accessible information through a database, providing information of past, present, and future outbreaks. Step 4 is to analyze alternatives, such as the health belief model. One must consider perceived susceptibility. Although it's a low risk of acquiring salmonellosis from eating pistachios, one can and must increase the perceived benefits of taking the time to rinse and boil pistachios and other farm-grown produce to prevent the possibility of falling ill to food-related illnesses. We must also include warning labels on the packaging of how to handle farm-grown produce and reduce the threat of illness. Step 5 are recommendations. First, to recommend food companies to have a plan to handle manufacturing changes to production, to transport, in order to comply with universal safety protocols to prevent any future outbreaks. They should also keep up with CDC's FoodNet and PulseNet to keep up with any new bacteria-related illnesses and infections. Second, FDA, CDC, and public health agencies should conduct annual checkups to make sure that these companies, as well as their third-party associates, are keeping up with their goals and aforementioned protocols. Step 6 is action plan, in which the FDA, CDC, and other public health organizations should work alongside Wonderful Pistachios and other companies to make sure to create these yearly reports starting next year, highlighting the previously mentioned goals and protocols. FDA should conduct monthly checkups on companies linked to an outbreak, and then yearly for up to 2 years after the initial investigation. The FDA should keep these companies accountable for their actions and make sure that they're keeping up with any laws and regulations in order to produce products safely and prevent any future outbreaks. Step 7 is my opinion. It is always important to be careful and mindful of the produce you buy. One should always wash farm grown produce to rid of any dirt or contaminants left over, and taking the time to properly handle produce, even though it's inconvenient, will lead to benefits that heavily outweigh the consequences of potentially falling ill. Thank you.